chocolate raspberry pie. This is my wife Mia's recipe, and she never writes anything down and she never measures anything. So we'll do the best we can. The ingredients are really simple. This is silken tofu, organic, non-GMO. A 12-ounce bag of frozen raspberries. You can just put it in cups, but if you want to make this fancy for after a dinner party, you know, one of these pie things, this makes it a real treat. This is definitely not everyday fare. This is, you know, once a month treat. And chocolate chips. So there's two steps to this. One is to melt the chocolate chips in a double boiler and then add everything in here and to the blender and blend it all together. So double boiler doesn't have to be its own fancy thing. Here our double boiler is just a 2-quart pot with water in it. It's probably 2 cups of water. It's about an inch thick, and then a stainless steel bowl on top of it. It's already warm. I'll just start it here. And just take, this is about 1.5 cups of chocolate chips. I'm going to start by putting a lid on it, and in about 30 seconds the ones on the bottom will start melting, and then I'll take the spatula and mix it all around until it is pretty liquid. At the same time now I'm going to start doing the tofu and raspberries. So the tofu, just opened the packet, it's got a little bit of water in there, it's fine, and squeeze it out. So you can see here it's already starting to bubble over. I don't want this lid to fall down and break, so I'm going to turn it down. And the frozen raspberries go right in here. I can see here the ones on the sides are melting. And it's basically looking like melted chocolate. So true confession, I forgot to bring the tamper. So instead of just keeping this going and banging on the tamper, I'm going to have to stop it and mix it together, which is no big deal. It's just not quite as elegant. Just going to let that sit there. By the way, this is silicone, I'm not sure which can withstand heat up to 550 degrees Fahrenheit. So it's not plastic. It's not just going to melt all these hormone disruptors into our food. So after several iterations of turning it on and then tamping it down, I now have what the Vitamix people call the vortex. I'll show you. It's this pattern here that shows that everything has been mixed through. So that's important to get to that point, because if you don't have it and you add the chocolate chips, whatever chocolate is going to go in there and it's not mixing all together is just going to freeze into a chocolate lump. And I'm going to toss a little bit of it in. So that's going to melt this somewhat to make it easier to mix, and it's also going to harden the chocolate. This part is going to kind of become flaky. So now it's easier to mix because it's not frozen quite so much, and I put in the rest. And actually what I want to do here, ordinarily I wouldn't do this, but I'm going to turn it to low and get it moving. It's because it's so thick, it's not going to come shooting out. And now we put it into, this is a no-bake pie, we put it into the fridge for however long you want, or if you need it quickly to become colder, you can put it in the freezer for maybe 30-45 minutes. Let's take a look. And here you go. Now, in addition to raspberry, you could also use cherry, blackberry, blueberry, any kind of berry tends to work pretty good with chocolate. And make a couple of these and you've got a really nice dessert following any plant-based meal. Again, not for everyday use, but as a special treat, these can't be beat.